What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Have I ever told you guys how much I hate wintertime? I probably haven't, because it's a completely irrelevant subject. But man, it's been shitty weather here. It rained for 5 days straight. Finally stopped yesterday, but now it's cold. Well, cold for here. What's going on in Texas and in Tennessee, and I think I saw parts of Georgia. The western part of Georgia might have got hammered with some snow as well. We didn't get any of that. We just got the wet stuff. But it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow again, and be in the low 40s during the daytime, which is pretty miserable. So I'm over it. There's a reason I live in the South. I don't know how these people up in the north, well, especially if you go up like Wisconsin, Minnesota, forget that. You wouldn't catch me dead up there. Oh, actually, if I did go up there, you probably would catch me dead. I probably would die. But I don't see how these people do it for 4, 5, 6 months a year. I can't even deal with it for a couple of days. A couple of years ago, let's see, it might have been 3 years ago, we had the biggest snow and ice storm in my lifetime in South Carolina. We had about 6 inches of snow at my house, and then it was followed by a sheet of 3 inches of ice. And it stayed below freezing for about 5 days, so the snow and the ice didn't melt. Everything shut down. You couldn't drive on it. I actually went to the store one day because I had to go get food. There was cars, like every couple of 100 feet there was a car in the ditch. You can't drive. We don't have salt trucks and sand trucks and snow plows and all that shit that you need to survive in the snow and ice conditions. And people around here don't know any better, and they get behind the wheel of a car. They think, I got a pickup truck, I can deal with it. No, they're not. They don't have any idea how to drive on that, and nor do I. So I'm not hating on them, but I was smart enough to stay home for the majority of the time. Anyway, what's going on in Texas is crazy. What's going on in the world of sports? The Gus Bus lands in Orlando at UCF. We'll talk about that. Heisman Odds. The Heisman Odds came out a couple of weeks ago, and I was looking over them before the show tonight. Now, you can go on different websites, different sports books, whatever, and you'll get different odds for sure. But you'll get pretty much the same order, and the first 6 are quarterbacks. No shocker, it is pretty much a quarterback award at this point. I know Devontae Smith won it this year. That's an outlying year. Whatever, 8 out of 10 years, you're going to see a quarterback win it. We'll talk about that. The NCAA proves how inept and useless the NCAA is. They extend the recruiting dead period until May 31st for some reason. Now, I'll admit I'm ignorant on this subject, as I am on most subjects. Just ask the comment section of every video I've ever uploaded. I mean, there could not be a more ignorant human being on planet Earth than Pigskin Pete, according to them. But I am ignorant on this subject. What's the point of this? Does this have to do with coronavirus? For those of you who don't know what the dead period for recruiting is basically you can't be having recruits come, for on-campus visits and that sort of thing. May 31st is pretty late in the recruiting season to start having that happen, but I don't know what the reason for it was. And again, it's only because I'm ignorant and haven't read up on it. That's the main reason. Anyway, so yeah, we'll talk about all that and more. Of course, this is a call-in show. Number to call in is 864-207-4522. I'll say that again for all the people in the back. 864-207-4522. We got the caller draft coming up in a few weeks with me and Uncle Lou. Let's look at this here. Let me do my announcements real quick, like I do every week. A Lunch Money Show. Every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Uncle Lou's main channel. And, man, if you guys didn't see last Monday, a couple days ago, we had Mrs. Peete on there for, over an hour. She revealed some things that were shocking. But she was amazing and fantastic. She was a good sport. I think most people that watched that enjoyed it. I know that I did. I wouldn't say that she's be coming back on the air anytime soon, and not because she didn't enjoy herself. She did, but she's got no use for YouTube. It was it's like I told Lou on Monday night. Moses parted the Red Sea, Jesus turned water into wine, and Pigskin Pete got Mrs. Peete on YouTube live. The 3 biggest miracles in modern history and ancient history. A bigger miracle than that would you'd have to go back to the Stone Ages when they learned how to make a wheel. Anyway, that was a good time. Y'all come check us out. It's a show about nothing. Believe me, if you don't believe me, just go check it out. I think Uncle Lou will tell you the same thing. Slob Olympics coming up, man. It's only, what is it? What's today? It's the 17th. This is coming up in, on Friday it'll be 2 weeks. Because for all you people that don't know out there, there's only 28 days in February. So, so we'll be going up on Friday the 5th. The Olympics will be held on the 6th. Downtown and Centennial Park, or somewhere close to Centennial Park, if we can't use Centennial Park. Anyway, it'll be in that area on the 6th. Saturday afternoon. Then we're going to go to the College Football Hall of Fame. Then we're going to go to the maybe the Coke Museum, go out to eat. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I do know it's going to be a good time. And I keep hearing more and more people saying they're trying to come, which is great. We hope 100 people show up. Hell, we hope 500 people show up. But if it's 10 people, 20 people, or 50 people, doesn't matter. Still going to be a good time. Everybody that can come should come. If you can't come, we won't hold it against you. Well, maybe I will. But Lou won't hold it against you. Cheers to the chat. Let's see who's in here, and then we'll get to the phone calls. See, Uncle Lou is in here. I was just looking. I haven't looked. I'm about to look after I get off here tonight at the weather forecast for your. Lou's coming to Charleston this weekend with Lou Jr. for a soccer tournament, and I'm going to meet up with him, and we're going to go out to dinner on Saturday night. But I haven't looked at the weather. Hopefully it's nice. That's all I'm saying. It would suck to drive all the way down to Charleston and have crap weather like it's been for the past week. What's up, Crimson Brave? All bow down to Bama, he says. No, nobody's bowing down to Bama except for you, sir. But welcome to the show. Ballard Sports Media. What's up, Pigskin Pete? What's up, Ballard? Neo's in the house. Clemson Carson's here. Matt Dummett. Luke Walker says, hashtag Heisman Howell. Of course, Sam Howell is high on this list in the Heisman odds. As a matter of fact, if you're a betting person, he might be worth putting a couple of bucks on because the payout would be amazing. And there is, an outside chance that he could win it. I mean, I don't think he's going to win it, but there's definitely an outside chance that he could. Kyle Papik is here. Dylan Deloney. Hey, Dylan. Finally, I was glad to hear and learn that you are not Edward. It's been confirmed. They sent us, you know what? I think there's 99% chance that this is correct. I believe you and him, but that could have been anyone in that. I mean, you could have sent us a picture of you and your cousin together. All right. We don't know who that other guy is, but anyway, welcome, Dylan. Johnny Red Dot's here. Benji Holland. Go Tigers. 504 says cold weather sucks. Yes, sir. I could not agree more. D4 Sports. Nate. Look at this. He changed his name again. He went from Nate the depressed Wolverines fan to Nate the hopeful Wolverine fan. That's good. I'm glad you're hopeful. You should be. I mean, without that, what else would you have? Ask every Gamecock fan in America. You got to be hopeful. That's all you can have. Golden Blue Dude, he says, I'm going to try to go to the Slob Olympics. I don't even, do you live in Louisiana? No, or do you live in West Virginia? I know you're a Mountaineers fan. Now, that'd be amazing. Come. And fantastic. Luke Walker, I think I already said you. I'm repeating myself. Now, Matt K is here. Lenny the Gump Summers. Yes. Maddie Sims, Traveling Fools. Says, yo. All right. Man, you guys are all amazing for showing up here tonight. Tiger Paw Craven. I always feel bad if I leave somebody out. Mike 3883. He always shows up. He's one of the old OGs around here. Miranda Knight. Big Boys Country Cooking coming to Clemson. Go Tigers. What's up, Miranda? All right. Let's check the phone lines. I definitely do want to. Sometimes I get a subject prepared and I forget to talk about it because I get caught up in the phone calls and whatnot. I hate to leave people waiting on the phones for 30 and 40 minutes. But I definitely do want to talk about the Gus Malzahn situation. I was on Turnt Tally's show last night for about an hour. Him and Pinecone and Sergeant AR-10, I think his name is. We had a good time over there, but we talked a lot about the Gus bus and the UCF situation, as well as Florida State. And is Gus Malzahn the best coach in the state of Florida right now? And of course, because of the UCF situation with Gus Malzahn, we got into Tennessee as well. Anyway, let's see who's on the phone lines here. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Good evening, Pete. It's Edward. How you doing?
Edward.
This autumn Wednesday night.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, I'm amazing and fantastic.
Good. Anyway, I do have a question for you. I think I may have asked you this. What's your thoughts on Travis Etienne, and do you know what NFL team is going to draft him? Do you know that?
I've seen a couple of teams. I saw the Patriots was one, which I don't. That doesn't make much sense to me. I don't know what the situation with Sony Michel is, and of course, is James White still on their team? I don't know. I don't know what their running back situation is as far as contracts go. Here's the bottom line. I don't know where he's going to go. I will tell you this though. All the people, and there was a bunch of people, most people, as a matter of fact, were questioning why would Travis Etienne come back for his senior year, this past season. And it's because he got a second round grade. And based on the running back class from last year, the first running back didn't go to the very last pick in the first round. And that was Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? Went to the Chiefs from LSU. And they're like, he could risk injury. There's only so much tread on the tires for running backs. If you get a second round grade, you should go. Well, I can tell you right now, I'd be willing to bet a significant amount of money, and I don't know for sure, but he's going to go somewhere in the first round. And him coming back for one more season is going to earn him multi-millions dollars more in his rookie contract, which is important, not only because it's a multi-millions dollars more in your first contract, but let's say something catastrophic happens, God forbid. He'll be, it's life-changing money difference between last year and this year. So in hindsight, him coming back actually ended up helping him if he does go in the first round, which I think that he definitely will. So I think he made the right decision. As far as where he'll go, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about the Gus bus at UCF a little bit. I think Gus Malzahn coaching for Central Florida, I think that's going to be interesting to see what he'll do, how he'll turn out. I mean, as far as like how long he lasts, I don't know that answer, but I think it'll be interesting.
Well, it's going to be interesting, but the real story is not Gus Malzahn to UCF, right? It's not like Gus Malzahn's going to go to UCF and all of a sudden UCF is going to be making the playoffs and competing for national championships against the other 5 or 6 teams every year that have a chance to do that. That's not going to happen. I mean, I think he's going to do well there, right? He's going to be in Florida. Here's the real story is there's two angles to this. UCF made out like a bandit in this situation. They got rid of a guy who was not popular, who was actually, the program seemed to be going downhill. All 3 years that Heupel was there, they won one less game than they did the year before. So it was a gradual decline. Heupel goes to Tennessee. Malzahn comes to UCF. UCF is getting Gus Malzahn for basically nothing. Basically, what's happening is Auburn is paying UCF to be the to hire Gus Malzahn because of the way the contracts worked out. Now, I haven't read the contract, top to bottom, but basically what it comes down to is Auburn is pretty much paying the majority of Gus Malzahn's salary at UCF, at least for the next 2 or 3 years. So they got a proven head coach in the Power 5 for basically nothing. So UCF made out like a bandit, and they got rid of a coach that they weren't really happy with in the first place, or at least the fan base wasn't. Tennessee, on the other hand, they inherit a coach from UCF who everybody in the fan base already wanted gone in the first place, and they missed out somehow on Gus Malzahn. Now, I don't know for sure if they even contacted Gus Malzahn and offered him the job, wanted to interview him or anything. I don't know any of that. He might have told him to kick rocks. But I will tell you this, Tennessee, when's the last time Tennessee beat Alabama? It's been, 12 years, 13 years, something? It's been over a decade since Tennessee beat Alabama. Gus Malzahn's done it multiple times in that time period. So I think this could end up being proven to be a big blunder on Tennessee's part. UCF made out great. I mean, if you're UCF, who are you going to get better than Gus Malzahn? Right? So I think they made out good.
Yeah, and I think Tennessee, as far as having Heupel, I'd say that guy gets fired around towards the end of 2024. Lou says he's not going to be there in 2025. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a history of keeping guys for 5 years, so I would have to agree with that. Yeah.
Nah, he ain't going 5 years. I'd say if they get anybody, I'm hoping they get Kevin Steele, because if they want problems, go with Hugh Freeze if you want problems, but I would say Kevin Steele will probably do it in 2025.
I mean, who knows what's going to happen, right? Like, it's easy to say Heupel's going to be a bust, and which I think the chances of him being a bust are more likely than not, but the real story here is the mistake they made was hiring Danny White in the first place. And I know that Danny White has been in multiple programs and turned them around, and he's considered to be a respected guy, as an athletic director throughout the country. But the one guy he shouldn't have hired is the one that he did hire. And it may be because they didn't have really much of a choice. But it just looks bad to come from UCF and then immediately hire that guy as your first head coach. Something doesn't seem right about that. They must have been turned down by a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, now you got the whole Dylan and Edward situation straight. I don't know if you saw the picture. I think you did see the picture.
Yes, sir. We talked about it on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we know that I'm not Dylan. Dylan's not me.
Well, how do I know who those people are in that picture? That could be some two dudes that you pulled a picture off the internet for all I know.
Yeah, it could be, but I can tell you, Dylan wears glasses, and I don't wear glasses.
Yeah, because nobody else in America wears glasses. That's definitely the defining characteristic there. No, I believe you. I was just messing with you, but.
Oh yeah, it's cool. But yeah, hey, sorry if I give a shout out to Lenny the Gump Summers right quick.
Edward, you can give a shout out to anybody who you want to, sir.
All right, well I'll give some shout outs out real quick. Uncle Lou, shout out to you, my man. I see you in there. Let's see, Lenny the Gump Summers, shout out to you. Hey, if you haven't watched the Lunch Money Show from last Monday, check it out. There's a picture of Dylan and I on there. You'll know who's who. I'm the one on the right. Dylan's the one on the left. He has glasses. He wears glasses. I don't. That's the difference. So that should clear it up. Let's see. Who else is it? Who else is there? Mike Vick, shout out to you. Nate, the hopeful Wolverine fan, shout out to you. You're good people. All you guys are good people. Watch the Lunch Money Show, guys.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm on there 10 p.m. And at what time do you want me to call in this Monday?
I don't know. I'm sure you get with Uncle Lou on that. He's the one it's on his channel, so he's the one hosting the show. So get with him on that.
Well, what I generally do is I have the show on until he tells me to call in, or
there you go.
My name mentioned, then I call in, and then
there you go.
I do it like that.
All right, man. All right, thank you for the call, Edward. You're amazing and fantastic. Hey, BVD's in the chat says, I don't think Tennessee contacted anyone other than Josh Heupel. How do you not know that that's not the case, BVD? I mean, Danny White said during the hiring process, we've been in contact with several candidates. We're looking forward to meeting with all of them. And then after they hired Josh Heupel, he goes, oh, yeah, he's the only one that we talked to. No. I mean, unless they contacted other people and they said, well, I'm not interested. But he was not the first choice. And by the way, if he was the first choice, that's even a bigger problem because he shouldn't have been the first choice. Right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with him. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete. J-Dub calling from a cold Iowa, hoping everybody in the Southeast does not get the ice that's supposed to be coming their way.
Yeah, you're used to that mess in Iowa.
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't mean we like it.
Right. So I've got a buddy that lives... doesn't live. He lives here now, but he's from Ohio. He moved down here a few years ago. He's actually from Columbus, Ohio. He told me that the sun goes away in October, and it doesn't come back until May. And it's miserable from October through May, basically. The summer's nice up there, because it's, But is that the way it is in Iowa?
We had sunshine today for the first time, and I can't remember when. Also, today was the first day, I think they said, in 12 straight days where the daytime high reached double digits.
Are you kidding me?
No. We had 2 nights ago, the overnight low, the wind chill was minus 38.
I know you love your job and all. Covering college sports. That's an amazing job. I'm sure you love doing it. But I'd be filling out every application in Florida, Texas, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, the warm states, California, whatever. I'd be trying to get the hell out of there if I were you. You must really love your job.
I'll tell you what, Pete, I covered Texas Tech at Iowa State women's basketball Saturday night. And I get a park pretty close to Hilton Coliseum, but it's about 100-yard walk from where my media parking spot is to the doors to get inside. And it was hell.
Yeah.
It was hell before you could get inside.
Yeah, I bet.
And I think we'll talk about the Heisman a little bit.
Yes.
I think unless Howell does something crazy. Don't you think that Spencer Rattler is going to get all the noise?
Yes.
I mean, he's the Oklahoma quarterback.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's offense is going to be great.
Yeah.
The quarterback at Oklahoma always seems to get Heisman attention.
For a good reason.
And I think Rattler is set up to have a really good year.
Yeah, I might have been a year off. Rattler was my favorite to win it this year, coming into the season. And, of course, he had a bad couple of first games, and that pretty much eliminated him from the conversation. But he got better as the year went on. I'm going to go ahead and read to everybody and you the top 6 quarterbacks and the order they're in and their odds. Okay. Spencer Rattler is the favorite to win the Heisman at plus 300. DJ Uiagalelei, Clemson Tiger quarterback, plus 400 at the second spot. Bryce Young, and I was a little bit surprised, quite frankly, that Bryce Young was third in this, and not because I don't think he's great or has the potential to be great, but it's because of some of the other guys that are much more experienced than him that are lower than him. Now, this is purely because he's wearing an Alabama uniform, and Alabama is completely loaded on offense. So, I mean, he might win. He might win it, but I was surprised to see him third. Sam Howell, University of North Carolina, was fourth. And J.T. Daniels from the University of Georgia was fifth. And then Derek King from Miami is sixth. And then after that, it's a hodgepodge of wide receivers, running backs, and a couple of other quarterbacks that nobody's really thinking about. So, I mean, I think the favorite rarely wins the Heisman. Like, when was the last time the favorite coming into the season won the Heisman? I don't know the answer to that, but I'd have to say, well, I don't know. I don't know.
It's not that frequent. It's more infrequent than it is.
Yeah.
Than it actually happens.
Right. And of course, a year like this year where a wide receiver wins it, that's even more rare than, a non-favorite quarterback winning it or a favorite quarterback winning it. But I do agree with you. Oklahoma, I think, is a team that everybody's expecting to make the playoffs based on the fact that their defense is improved massively. The only thing I was a little bit concerned about with Oklahoma is that the recruiting class wasn't as good as I thought it would be, this year. But this year's team is playing off the recruits from previous years, so I don't know if that'll affect them this coming season. I think they're going to be by far and away the best team in the Big 12, and if they win the Big 12 with one or fewer losses, they'll definitely be in the playoffs.
Well, I saw them. I shot the game where they lost to Iowa State 37-30 in Ames, but that was the third game of the season, and Rattler was rattled in that game because his offensive line wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
And Iowa State just got all sorts of pressure on him. And they run that. Iowa State runs a really odd 3-3-5 defense that is difficult for young quarterbacks to figure out because they don't see it anywhere else.
Yeah.
And that kind of messed Rattler up a little bit. But I was impressed with him enough to think that, boy, if they get it figured out up front, he's going to be something else. And they're going to get it figured out up front. And I think, I hate to say this because I don't like him, but I think Oklahoma is going to be scary good this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to put out a video here sometime in the next month or so. Every year during the off season, around this time in the spring, I'll do a list of dark horse teams to win the national championship or make the playoffs. I don't know if you can consider Oklahoma a dark horse at this point. I wouldn't. They're not a dark horse to make the playoffs. I think they're probably going to be on pretty much everybody's preseason playoff list. But I would say they're definitely still a dark horse to win the national championship because they haven't done so in the playoff era. But I think that they are capable of doing that this year. They are the team for me to look out for. And, any team that's in the playoff, the national championship hunt, playoff hunt, and you have a star quarterback, he's going to be in the Heisman conversation. We know that.
Well, hey, I've eaten up enough time. I'll let you get to another call. Thanks, Pete.
All right, buddy.
Fantastic as always.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. J-Dub checking in. I saw some comments in the chat saying that Sam Howell is getting no respect. I mean, well, first of all, he's fourth in the Heisman odds. I don't know if that's disrespectful for a North Carolina quarterback. I think that's actually pretty good. But I do agree that I think that maybe he should be ahead of Bryce Young. Based on experience alone, we know what Sam Howell is. We've seen him play 2 full seasons already, right? Bryce Young has all the potential in the world, and he's on the most loaded team in America, which helps. But we don't really know what Bryce Young's going to be until this season. So I think Howell should be ahead of him. And again, if you're a betting man, put $100 on Howell, and you'll win $1,000 if he wins the Heisman. That's a good return on that one. The super chats are open, and the PayPal link is in the description of the video. All contributions are appreciated. It's the only reason I can do these shows for you every single week. So I appreciate everybody that contributes through that. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, what's up, Pete? Mike Vick.
Mike Vick. Hey, Mike, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So that stinger that BVD plays when you're on the toilet. First of all, that's amazing and fantastic. But can you explain to me the wiggle, where they say, "Are you on the toilet?" and you start doing this number here. I don't know if you can see the screen, but you start doing this number here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you go, yeah. Are you trying to wiggle something out? I mean, I'm just asking. What's going on there?
No. Well,
he's got this big smile on his face, and he's going.
Okay. Yeah, what I was trying to do. Yes, I was. Getting off the toilet. I was getting into my chair from from off of the toilet.
Oh, okay. I got you. I'm sorry. Well, I'm glad to clear that up. See, now that makes sense because it seemed to me like as if you were celebrating, like you were doing a little dance there. You know, you were celebrating dropping off the kids at the pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're coming to the Slob Olympics, Mike.
Yes, I am.
I believe me, I'm looking forward to shaking your hand and meeting you. And I think I was thinking you're a dark horse to win this thing. We were just talking about dark horses making the playoffs, winning national championships. I think Mike Vick is a dark horse to win this thing.
Right.
I do.
Isn't everybody a dark horse though?
You know what? Yeah, you know what? You bring up a great... See, and this is why you're the dark horse to win it, because you're smart.
Ding, 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 ding. That is correct, sir.
Everybody is literally a dark horse in this thing. Looks are deceiving, and sometimes the more you know about somebody, the more wrong you are. Let me rephrase that. The more you think you know about somebody, the more wrong you are. So I won't get caught slipping on this. I think that somebody like Mike Vick might shock the world.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most, Mike? Other than the actual Olympics, like who are you looking forward to meet? Who are you looking forward to meeting the most? Let me ask you that first.
Uncle Lou.
Uncle Lou. Okay, good answer. Now you live in Atlanta, right? Or in the area?
No, I live in Athens.
Oh, you live in Athens.
Yeah.
Oh. How far is Athens from Atlanta?
About 2 hours.
Okay, 2 hours. Not bad. Not bad. So, some people might say, somebody that's coming from out of state, they might be like, oh yeah, because I'm trying to remember the last time I went to Atlanta. I think it was 2012. It's been like 8 or 9 years since I've been to Atlanta. When myself and Mrs. Peete came up on New Year's Eve for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, when Clemson played LSU, and handed them a big fat L, which was the beginning of the end for old Les Miles. That's a different story. But that was the last time I've been there. But people come from out of state, and it's always fun to go visit somewhere else, especially if you haven't been there in a long time. But you live, basically around there, so you're not, that's not a big deal for you. That'd be like me going to Columbia. Like, I don't,
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Jeff Webster wants to know if I'm a big REM or B-52s fan. I'm gonna say no. Not really.
You don't like REM?
No, not really.
I really don't know what to say about that. Other than I wish I could get Edward back on here. He'd make you have to repent for your sins.
Right.
Not liking REM is a sin. It's a sin against America, and it's a sin against rock and roll, sir. And God, too.
Right. Well, also, yeah, I got my Slob Olympics T-shirt.
That's good. You know what? I don't have one yet. Somehow I keep forgetting to order one of those.
In the mail.
I don't know. I might need to order one like tonight or tomorrow if I want to get it in time. But I am planning my outfit. Now, it will not be as great as Uncle Lou's, right? He's already taken the cake with that one. But I will have an interesting costume, or not costume, but uniform. It's not a costume. It's a uniform. There's a difference.
Right. Yeah.
I will have an interesting uniform. I just have to finalize the details, as it were, and I might need to order a couple of things off of Amazon. But it's coming together. I will look amazing and fantastic on come March 6th, competition day.
Right. Yeah. Is it going to be as cool as Uncle Lou's or?
Well, I'll let everybody else be the judge of that. You know, who am I to say? I'm no fashion expert. Not only am I not a fashion expert, I'm not an athletic uniform expert either. I'm neither one of those things.
Right, me neither. Right, me neither.
Yeah. But I would say, as of right now, Uncle Lou is in the lead for the best uniform. No doubt about it. All right, Mike. You're amazing and fantastic, buddy. Thank you for calling in. I can't wait to meet old Mike Vick at the Slav Olympics. Yes, there's a difference. There's definitely a difference between a costume and a uniform. Well, I was about to say something I shouldn't have said, so I'm glad I caught myself on that one. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Hey.
Hey, it's Tiger Paul Craven.
Tiger Paul Craven. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. First time caller to your show, but I've listened for several years.
Yes, you're a very familiar name in the comments section, so I appreciate you watching and supporting and calling in.
Yeah, man. So I like the new addition for the Monday night show, Lunch Money at Night. You know, it's a great show.
Good, thank you. Believe me, we need all the help we can get. We're just a couple of idiots on the internet trying to entertain some people
with a show about nothing.
Exactly.
Know?
It's Tiger Paul. So have
sure.
you ever seen another show on the internet on Monday nights at 10 p.m. that's about nothing ever in the history of the world?
Absolutely not.
You haven't.
You are setting precedents, sir.
So, exactly. I think we deserve a. What do they have Emmys for YouTube? I don't know if they do, but if they do, we deserve one.
If they don't, we should definitely make one. And I think the first show nominated will be the Lunch Money show at 10 p.m.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. All right. So what you got for me today, buddy?
I got a couple things. So obviously I'm a Clemson fan. So let's talk about Trevor Lawrence first.
Okay.
That pro day, what did you think of it? What were your thoughts on it? I think it was extremely unnecessary, but I mean, I guess it was nice to see him get out there and throw against air.
So here's the explanation I heard. I agree with you. I thought it was unnecessary. I even said before the pro day, I said, why is he doing this? Like, just go get the surgery.
Right.
You're going to be the first pick no matter what.
That was my thoughts as well. I mean, he's been the first pick since his freshman year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was the point, right?
This this was a dog and pony show is what it was. And Urban Meyer pretty much confirmed that. He said he had a Skype call with Trevor Lawrence and said, hey, I know you're getting the surgery and all, but can you maybe just show up and throw for... So here's the thing. So Urban Meyer has seen Trevor Lawrence play live football games several times, well, at least twice against Ohio State. I think at the national championship against LSU. So he's seen him throw in big time games in person, on the sidelines.
Yeah, numerous times.
And so he knows what kind of player he is firsthand. But he said, my passing game coordinator, my offensive coordinator haven't seen him in person. So we just want you to come throw a couple of balls just so they can see, how the ball comes out of your hand, the velocity, the accuracy. Nothing, no big deal, right? They're not doing he threw the ball like 50 times in 30 minutes. That's not exactly like a pro day workout, right? It's just him throwing the ball just so they can get an idea of what he is. So I still think it was unnecessary, but I also think that this was Urban Meyer's way of saying, look, we're taking you first overall, buddy. Just come throw the ball a couple times to let my guys that work for me feel as comfortable about you as I do. That's all that was.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, was it like Urban Meyer making his first NFL play and asserting his dominance?
Yeah, kind of
over the rest of the team. Like he was literally standing 4 yards in front of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
With Dabo Swinney standing right there talking to him the whole time. I feel like it was like, hey, this is my quarterback. You guys can be here and watch all you want. But, there's no chance.
Well, there's no doubt that whether he threw that day or not, he was going to be the first guy taken. But I'm still seeing people say, the morons on the internet, which is the internet's full of a bunch of idiots. He's still going to take Fields. I don't know what these people are watching. Urban Meyer is not the coach.
The Ohio State connection, of course, even though he's never coached Fields a day in his life.
And he's not an Ohio State quarterback. He's not an Ohio State quarterback. He's getting paid $10 million a year or whatever, or $12 million a year in the NFL to win Super Bowls.
Right.
He does. It could be Joe Schmo off the street. If he's the best player, he's taking him. He's not going to just draft Ohio State players because he's Urban Meyer. People that think that are well, I'm not going to say it, but you know what they are.
I mean, it could be Tom Brady coming from Boise State. It doesn't matter. He's taking the best quarterback because why else would he come to Jacksonville if he wasn't going to take the best quarterback available?
Yeah, he's in love with Trevor Lawrence, as he should be. There's no doubt about that. And I'm actually kind of happy about that. I think seeing Trevor Lawrence play against Deshaun Watson, if Watson stays in Houston, that'll be fun to watch a couple times a year because they're in the same division.
Thing. Do you think the Texans will trade Watson, or you think they're going to play hardball and see if he's willing to set out?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, or the $100 million question, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they want to trade him. I think they know that he's, the chances that they get another guy in the draft as good as he is, as young as he is, are pretty much slim to none. So they don't want to get rid of him. The question, like you said, is Deshaun Watson going to pull the ultimate, is he going to sit out? And
if he is, the question is, at what point do the Texans have to cut their losses and be like, hey, we just need to get what we can get for this guy, whether it is, a quarterback that's already established in the league, or draft picks or whatnot,
Deshaun Watson won't do this because he's too much of a stand-up guy. But you know what I would do if they refuse to trade me? I would say, okay, I'll be your starter day one. First play of the game, the defensive line starts rushing you. I hand the ball to the defensive end and let him run it in for a touchdown. Now you're still getting paid, right? They might bench you and say you're throwing the game.
They can't fine him for that. They can bench him, but
they can bench him, and if they're benching him, they're still paying him his full salary. So they'll be forced to trade him. Now he wouldn't do that because he's that's kind of he wouldn't do it. But it would be the ultimate troll job, and it would force them to trade him. But
that would be hilarious to watch.
It would be. It would be. He wouldn't do that to his teammates either.
I feel bad for Deshaun Watson. The Texans are a complete joke when it comes to an NFL franchise. So I hope he gets out of there. Yeah, I really do.
We'll see. We'll see. It's the biggest off-season story in the NFL. You got a guy who's a top 3 or 4 quarterback in the league, who just signed a contract 5 months ago, requesting a trade. And the
I get it. He kind of cuffed himself when it came to signing that contract, but it's really hard to say no to money like that.
Well, but so Bill,
how many of us would be like, oh no to money like that?
He signed that contract.
I feel like stuff.
He signed that contract before they fired their head coach, and before some other things happened. So, exactly. It's like anybody else. You can change your mind.
Right. With Deshaun Watson's character, I feel like, we as Clemson fans especially, or, just following his career from high school to college to the NFL, he's got, amazing character. And I don't feel like the whole story has come out on the Texans as far as what is really going on there and why he really wants to leave.
Well, the ironic thing is he apparently
a figure in that city.
Yeah, he apparently had a dinner with the McNair family, the owners of the team, during the off season, or as soon as the season ended, and said, "Hey, look, I love it here. I want to stay here for the rest of my career, but here's a couple things I want from you," and they made promises to him. Now, he wanted to say and who the next GM would be. He wanted to say and who the next head coach would be. And people go, well, where does he get that right? Well, they could have just told him then. No, you don't get a say, Deshaun. But they told him that he could.
Front with them and be like, hey,
yes.
Deshaun, you're the quarterback. We're going to pay you, but hey, we're going to run the team how we want to run it.
Now,
and that's none of your concern.
Now, if you lie to the guy and say, okay, yeah, but then and then don't follow up on your promise, that's what he's mad about. That's all he's mad about.
Exactly.
He doesn't like being lied to, and I don't blame him. And then the funny thing is, all the people that criticize him for doing that, and then, just what was it last week? Russell Wilson comes out and says he's not happy with the personnel on the offensive line at Seattle, and he wants future decisions on the personnel, or he might leave. So he's doing the same thing.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh, well, he deserves that. Like,
why?
How exactly does he deserve that when the franchise never promised him that?
Exactly.
Deshaun Watson's franchise literally promised him, like, hey, we're going to take your input when we do these things.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now,
so,
I have no idea. If he goes anywhere, I'd love to see him come to Carolina. That would be the greatest thing that could happen. But
I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
And one of the off season things in the Clemson off season that kind of confused me was the Mike Jones transfer.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, obviously he's transferred to LSU now, and I mean it is what it is. But honestly, that one kind of caught me off guard when I saw the news come out that he had entered the transfer portal, because he was kind of one of the key people.
Yeah.
In our defense.
Him and Skalski. I think that has a lot. Well, I don't know. I mean, who knows what there might have been a personal reason that we don't know about. Who knows? But the recruiting class from last season, and then this one coming in, they got one 5-star and one 4-star linebacker coming in. And maybe it was just for him, like, hey, I mean, he's a graduate, right? He could leave. Maybe for him it was.
I mean, if he wants to leave, he can leave. It's just it was kind of puzzling because he was kind of a key part of the defense.
Yeah.
And those kind of people really don't typically leave.
I feel like maybe. I feel like maybe because Clemson plays so many young guys, his playing time would have been limited, and he just I don't know, maybe I don't know.
I mean, maybe that was a conversation he had with the coaches, and they were like, hey, your playing time might go down.
Well,
who knows?
I'll tell you one thing, LSU got themselves a great player in him. He's the real deal.
No, for sure they did. Sure they did. I mean, hats off to them. I mean, they got a great player in that.
Yeah, they're gonna love him.
Which brings the next issue with Clemson is the transfer portal, and the fact that, I mean, we're just completely ignoring the transfer portal, and I feel like that's gonna come back to bite us at some point.
Yeah, you already know how I feel about this. I think they should be getting a guy or two. But Sweeney's already pretty much said that they're not pulling anybody out this year of the portal. Maybe he said maybe next year. I'll never say never, but not this year. So,
Right. I'll never say never either. I mean, I feel like Dabo is kind of a forward-thinking person, I would like to think, but I had some hope when he made the change, and put somebody in charge of the transfer portal. But then, he comes out and says other stuff about, we don't need the transfer portal and whatnot. So, I mean, who knows?
He's smart. He's smarter than me. But I will say this: like, he uses that as a recruiting tool. I mean, when he's recruiting these kids, he'll tell them, "We're not going to replace you with some guy from a transfer portal. You're going to get to play as long as you earn your keep." And so I feel like I don't know. He's the only head coach in all of major college football who does not accept transfers.
Right.
So
we never have.
No, he never has.
Always made a point to be that's not the Clemson way. We recruit players, and if they decide to come here, they decide to come here, and if not, then that's kind of it.
At some point, he will have to, I think, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think he will have to.
All right, buddy. Listen, thanks for the call. I'm running out of time here, but I appreciate the call. I appreciate the
Okay.
support. And don't be a stranger. Call back in. Tiger Paw Craven. What's up? You're on with Pete. Well, what's up? You're on with Pete.
What up, Pete? How are you?
I'm amazing and fantastic. How you doing?
I'm good.
Who am I speaking with?
John Kelly.
John Kelly. What's up, man?
What's up? How are you? So I would like to. I have to ask? Did Deshaun Watson sign an extension 1 or 2 years ago?
No, it was over the summertime, before the season started.
This was the weird thing. Because 1 or 2 years ago, the Texans seemed like they were a well-run organization, and that the only thing holding them back was Bill O'Brien. But then they've just collapsed hard.
Yeah, well, they have. Look, man. Here's the thing about it. The Texans have always been a problem. They've always had. I think it's the ownership is the main thing. But they've always been bad, right? They've never won a Super Bowl. There's been a lot of things, but that's not the point. I think the point was just more of the conversations he had with the ownership, and they didn't follow through on their end of the promises that were made behind closed doors, and it pissed him off. That's all.
Yeah. I do have some other things to you.
Yes.
I meant to ask you, what do you think about Tennessee passing up on Kevin Steele as defensive coordinator? Is that not the most funniest thing?
Well, that's what Tennessee does. So who is the defensive coordinator?
It's some guy from Penn State, something like Banks, I think. But
Yeah, I don't know enough about. I'd have to look into that. Maybe they feel like that. Maybe they feel like that. The guy from Penn State's just a better coach, a better fit. I don't know, but what do you think about it?
Yeah, I just don't know. I watched a Tennessee fan YouTuber video yesterday, and he did not like it at all.
Right. What was his reasoning for that?
It was because he thought they should have kept Kevin Steele as defensive coordinator because he was already on the staff.
Who knows? There might have been some infighting between Kevin Steele and the new. I mean, here's the other thing though. New coach comes in, he wants to hire his own staff, so that's not surprising that he wanted to get his own guys in there. Right, John. Thank you for the call, buddy. I don't know what happened. The sound dropped out there or something. But I'm running out of time here. I got one more call here. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete. It's Nate, grade AA, a.k.a. Nate Kingston. How you doing, sir?
Nate, were you sleeping, buddy?
No, I'm just cold. It's pretty cold over here in Omaha, so it's -4 degrees. So
-4. Wait, hold on. Back up. Did you just say -4 degrees?
Yep. Yes.
What is that like? I've never been in -4 degree weather. I've been I think the coldest weather maybe I've ever been in was 10 degrees or something. You start getting into negatives.
Yeah.
What is that like? Did you just walk outside and it's like getting punched in the face by Father Winter? I mean, what is that like?
Yeah, basically, but it feels like you're in Antarctica almost. That's how cold it is.
Yeah. I've never been to Antarctica though. I wouldn't know how that feels. You know what I'm saying? Never been there.
Yeah, you get frostbite in within 5 minutes.
Frostbite in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I never understood why somebody would live
Nebraska.
there. Why would you want to live in that? I don't get I don't get why people live in these cold areas. I understand if you got a job there or something, or but if you have the ability to move out of there and go somewhere sunny and warm, like why would you not do that? I'm not. I mean, I know. I'm not.
know.
Not you. Just people in general.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I actually was born here. I'm here. I was raised here my whole life so far, and I hope to actually move somewhere when I go to like a college or something or university.
Yeah.
But
right.
But actually, I think I already told you this, but I'm gonna tell you again. I'm hoping to go to Clemson.
Yeah, you're hoping to go to Clemson.
But,
that would be great.
Yes. But what's it like in Clemson, the city? Like, is it warm, cold?
Well, it's in the upstate of South Carolina, very close to the North Carolina border. It is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, compared to where you're coming from, it's friggin' Miami, right? But it's not. You know, I think it snowed up there last week. It'll snow there maybe once or twice a year or something, but it's not anything like where you're coming from. Right. The majority of the year, it's warm.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I have like, I don't know if I can do this or not, but by the way, I'm really sad that I can't go to Slav Olympics. I really am. It's because I have like too much going on because my little brother has a hockey tournament in Kansas City, Missouri, and so I do really want to go out. I asked my mom if I can go, but she said no, we're too busy.
Right.
But
well, you know what, Nate? Maybe next year. Yeah, this is going to be an annual thing, and so maybe if you start planning now, then you can go ahead and let your parents know. Like next year, I definitely want to go. And so you have a whole year to prepare for it, because we'd love to see you there, Nate.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. She said like, you need to tell me beforehand, like
yes.
But here's my is it okay? I can make a suggestion for what city for like just a suggestion for the next city for
sure. Yeah, we're always open to suggestions.
Okay. All right. I'm doing one. Not many. One is Nashville.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I that's somewhere I've never been before that I really want to go to. So that's a. You know what? I'll that'll be at the top of. And my top 2 or 3 list of my suggestions as well, sir. Good one.
Yeah,
what else?
I was actually going to say Omaha too, but...
No, nobody's coming to Omaha, Nebraska, sir. Come on now.
I know.
That's not happening.
All right, Pete.
All right.
You have a good night, sir.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Nate, the Great. He was not late tonight. Always good to hear from Nate. He said it was -4. In Nebraska. This has something to do with why the football team is no good. Florida, Georgia, Texas, California, all these warm weather states where the vast majority of the high recruits come from. Why would they want to go to Nebraska and sit next to Nate the Great in 4-degree weather? They wouldn't. They wouldn't. Anyway, great show tonight. Had a bunch of people call in. So a couple of new callers that were great. I will see you guys again on Friday night at 10 p.m. I keep saying that. Last week I wasn't on for Friday. Something came up. I'm still planning on coming on this Friday at 10 p.m. for another amazing and fantastic college show. And then, of course, next Monday, the College Football Coast to Coast show with my man and Mark Rogers TV. And then Monday night at 10 p.m. with my man, Uncle Lou. If anything happens between now and then, I may hop on and make a fool out of myself in the meantime. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Be safe. If you're in one of these cold states, stay inside, right? Don't get frostbitten in 4 minutes or whatever Nate the Great said. He said it only takes 5 minutes to get frostbite in Nebraska. I believe him. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Take it easy. Love y'all. Pigskin Pete is checking out.